Hey guys, it's Prediction Friday again, and we're going to be giving a shout out to everybody who nailed it on the noggin from last week's game, and then go ahead and talk about all of your predictions for this game. I'll give mine. We even have JR's going to throw in his prediction today. It's going to be great. This is the Quickslant at GreenBayPackerNation.com. Okay, guys, well, last week's game against the Rams had some good predictions. We had a 24-17 from Sam. We know our own Jeff Hayes, who does the R&R for GreenBayPackerNation.com. He had 27-10 Packers. We have several that were fairly close, 28-17. 24-17 by Brandon, but without a doubt, the winner of the shout out for this week's prediction, or last week's prediction, was Sam. Sam had a 24-17, but Robert, he gets the shout out. Robert had 24-10 Green Bay, and he nailed it on the noggin. So way to go, Robert. If you had that same prediction and I missed you, there are a lot there. So I just can't get through them all. But I don't see any other that nailed it right on the head. And so, Robert, you get the shout out. Well, okay, that was last week. The Packers went 5-0 against the Rams. Now it's time to look at your predictions for this week's big matchup against the San Diego Chargers. Okay, well, this week the Packers look to go 6-0, going into a much-needed bye week with a lot of injuries. What does Packer Nation have to say? What are your guys' predictions? We've got them coming in right now. I have from Tony, I have 31-10. I've got Jack says big win for the Pack. Rodgers breaks Unitas' record, 38-10 Pack. Welcome to the bye week, 6-0. I'm picking up what you're laying down, Jack. We got Anthony says 38-20 Packers, I'm assuming. Tim says 21-27, a little closer game according to Tim. Our own Jeff Hayes, writer of the R&R, the Rants and Raves, which is one of my favorite columns. 45-10. Defense keeps playing lights out with 2 pick sixes. That's a bold prediction, Jeff. Rodgers makes a statement by tossing 4 TDs, which I will probably agree with to a great extent. I don't know if I'll agree with the number necessarily, but yeah, definitely. So that's what Jeff says, 45-10. How about Kevin says 37-10. Dion, 41-17 Packers. Jacob says 24-10. Manuel says, my dude Lacey breaks 100 yards. Great. Hey, I would love to see that. And I think this might be the game where it happens too, Manuel. Lacey breaks 100 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 rushing, 1 receiving, and of course we win. I didn't get where's your number though? I need to hear your predictions, man. Go out on a limb, you know? All right, Brian says Packers 24-17, a little closer game. Mark says 35-17 Packers. Rivers gets sacked 9 times, 1 pick and 1 fumble, okay? And the Packers have shown this defense is capable of doing similar things with, definitely in the half-dozen sack mark. Let's see what else we've got. We got Michael says 38-20 Pack. Carol says Packers 37, Chargers 24. Trevor says 31-17 Packers. And we got Jorge says Packers win, period. Which is important too. And I know we all just want the Packers to win. That's what really matters. But of course, if you want to get a shout out, you gotta lay the numbers down. Okay, so that's the info and the predictions from Packer Nation. I'm going to take a minute and tell you what I think and how I think this game is going to go, okay? Okay, guys, well, before my prediction...
Hi, guys. Time for video prediction. My video prediction for this Packers versus San Diego Chargers week. I think the most interesting matchup, both these teams are really evenly matched statistically, but I think the most interesting matchup that I noticed would be the Packers' number 8 run offense against the Chargers' number 29 run defense. I think that's going to be probably the big key in the game. I would expect that the Packers are going to chew the clock by using the same 1-2 punch with Starks and Lacey that they've been using all season long. They're going to keep Phillip Rivers off the field just by chewing the clock and marching the ball downfield a little bit at a time. I would expect we're probably going to put up 24 to 27 points against the Chargers. Now, Rivers and his passing offense are pretty high-powered. In fact, overall, their offense is pretty high-powered. So this will be an interesting test for this really impressive defensive showing we've had recently. If this Packer defense can stop Phillip Rivers and company, I think that they'll have made a statement. Now the Chargers don't. They've got Melvin Gordon, and of course, all of us Wisconsin fans are really looking forward to seeing Melvin come back to Wisconsin, but their run game has not been super stellar. So I think we'll have little trouble plugging up the run. In fact, Capers might even move Matthews back outside more often in this game. But I expect it's going to be a little closer than the games that we've had recently. I kind of expect that Phillip Rivers and company will probably put up in the double digits for sure. They may put up 17 points against us, so I'm going to say this is going to be a 24-17 Green Bay Packer win.
And just let me say, last week we put up bold predictions. My big bold prediction was that Ty Montgomery was going to get 2 touchdowns in the game against the Rams, and he was 1 football away. I mean, really? If he had not stepped that 1 foot out of bounds. Come on, Ty. Man, tell you what. But you know what? We won the game, so I guess that's all that really matters. But I was that close. So sometimes, you can be close, you can be wrong, but your teams can still win. Packers are 5-0. Here's how I kind of see the Chargers game going down. I think I agree with Jeff. Me and Jeff, I think, are on the same page. Aaron Rodgers has been a perfect gentleman and the consummate professional in terms of these last 2 games, really giving cred to the defense, saying these guys picked it up when we were struggling a little bit. Inside, Aaron Rodgers is not happy with that at all. He knows that the offense should be scoring more points. I think this is the game that we get it in. So, Jeff, man, you and me. 4 touchdowns for Aaron Rodgers. I think we get 1 more on the ground. I think it's inside the red zone and Eddie Lacy bounces out. It's inside the red zone, inside the 10. Eddie Lacy does one of those where he bounces it out and breaks to the pylon and gets a touchdown. That's 35. I think Crosby puts 1 on top of that. So that's 38, okay? Now, as far as the Chargers go, I'm going to say Phillip Rivers, and I've seen this in the comments, so I don't know. I may be repeating what someone else has said. I apologize. But the fact is, it's true. Phillip Rivers, when he gets time, is a great quarterback. I don't think our defense is going to give him time. So I am going to let Phillip Rivers have a couple of touchdowns. Let's give him 14 points through the air, and I think he brings the team inside the red zone on a series that we shut down, and the Packers and the Chargers add 3 more. That's 17. So I've got a total of 38-17 Packers, which would be that's a pretty big win for Green Bay. Okay, so here's the deal. I've been calling this for a while that we're going to score well over 30 points. They're going to score under 24, and it was either the defense did its job or the offense did its job, but I think this is the game where we bring both of these things together. I think before the bye, this team really wants this win, and I think they're going to get it. The one caveat I have on that in terms of the Chargers, I do worry a little bit about this game because the Chargers are up against a wall. This is last-ditch effort time for them. Phillip Rivers knows how it works. He knows how the NFL runs. He has got to get a win. The only fear I have of this game is the same fear that I would have if I had been a Carolina Panthers fan going up against the New Orleans Saints this past week. Because guess what? When an animal is in a corner, it's going to fight like it's never fought before. I feel like the Chargers are in that same situation, but guess what? This game's at Lambeau, and I think that makes all the difference. I just don't think that's going to be enough. In fact, I think that may cause them more harm than good. The desperation that the Chargers feel may very well be their downfall on several series in terms of trying to push it, knowing that they have to score quickly, knowing that they can't just run up the clock against Green Bay. So that's how I see it. I got 38-17, folks. I hope I get the shout out next week. But most of all, just like every one of you out in Packer Nation, I hope the Packers win. So here's to a big 6-0 coming up Sunday afternoon against the San Diego Chargers. And as always, go Pack.